Raw, uncut, and unapologetic. Welcome to Men Talking Mindfulness. I think also, how do you even get into that mindset, right? It's just remain calm, right? This is the first piece, right? Staying calm so we can, instead of dropping into the panic situation, I need to breathe or I need to get out of here or whatever, that 5-alarm fire going off in your mind, right? By staying calm, again, we shift into that parasympathetic nervous system where we have our right mind, and therefore we can make, more effective choices depending on what the circumstances is that's right in front of us. So, if you wanted to, I just wanted to claim that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will, you just hit on a very important point. So kind of, in military operations and things like that, we're back planning, we're doing contingency planning, and we're back planning off the worst case scenario. Right. Mm-hmm. And so the worst case scenario is exactly what you just said. Panic, that you would lose control of your thoughts to where you would be induced in panic. And panic is when someone loses the ability for self-help.
Ooh, so okay. I like that definition.
Like going back to that ocean rescue, I was in a situation where the waves picked up, the current picked up, and it took swimmers into the pier. And all of a sudden I was trapped under 2 waves. I looked up and there was a guy there that his girlfriend was caught in the pier. And so he was just white as a ghost and he was pointing like this. And I was like, and when I saw it, she had just gotten smashed in the pier. So she already has red, like blood is starting to come out of her arm. And she's like, has the eye of the gerbil is what we call it, where it's like, oh, you got to get to this person because they're not able to help themselves out of the situation. So it's so crazy when someone gets into that point that even when we got her to a point where she could stand and she was out of the situation, she was out of the pier, she was in safety, that she just collapsed. She couldn't stand, she couldn't walk, she couldn't help herself, she couldn't do anything. So literally had to take her and drag her and put her on the beach and then go help, And it's like, that's the worst case scenario, is that we get to that point. So it's like, we never want to get to that point. So we gotta, as soon as we get into stress or as soon as we get hit, something happens, the immediate thing is controlling our mind and working through the situation one step at a time.
Right. What's the best way to get into that controlled state of mind?
Free.
No.
I'm going to go through the,
we definitely talk about that.
I'm going to go through the free, but, so my partner, Don, and I, we created F.R.E.E. When we started the companies, because we were trying to create an acronym that would be a turnkey system that would be the simplest thing to unlock performance in a stressful situation, or for an elite athlete, or for anyone that's trying to break through stress or whatever. F.R.E.E. is kind of like a turnkey system, kind of like OODA loop for fighter pilots. So fighter pilots have the system observe, orient, decide, act. And so we kind of use the same thing in a similar format with F.R.E.E. So focus, relaxation, economy of motion, and efficient breathing. So focus, mental focus. So how much can you close out all those other tabs that are open to be singularly focused on one thing in the present moment, right? So when we go underwater or when we're in a survival situation, a lot of these athletes love it because they can close out everything else and they can just focus on that one thing, right?
Listen to the full episode on our podcast, Men Talking Mindfulness, or watch it here on YouTube. Thanks for checking us out. mentalkingmindfulness.com. Peace.